Whenever you're building something complex, software especially, there's often that temptation, right, to take the easy path now.
Oh, yeah, the quick solution that gets something shipped.
But you kind of know deep down, it's maybe not the best long-term solution. You're cutting a corner.
Exactly. And that's the heart of what we often call technical debt. It's like borrowing time or simplicity from the future.
Loan, basically.
Precisely. You get the benefit now, but you absolutely pay interest later. And that interest, it comes as maybe increased bugs, slower feature development, just making everything harder down the line.
Right, it just compounds. It can
Right.
feel like the whole system is fighting against you sometimes. So today, let's really try and unpack this. What is this debt, really? How can you spot it?
Yeah, and crucially, how do you decide what debt to pay down first?
And what are some good strategies for managing it so it doesn't spiral out of control? Because understanding this is, well, pretty key for building systems that last, isn't it?
Absolutely essential. And spotting well, it's not always obvious, is it? It isn't just messy code, though that's part of it.
What else should you look for?
Think about insufficient documentation. Trying to figure out a complex system without a decent map. That's a form of debt.
Good point. Or missing tests.
Huge one. A lack of automated tests. It means you can't refactor, clean up the code structure with any real confidence.
Because you might break something else without realizing it. Those dreaded regressions.
Exactly. You fix one thing, two other things mysteriously start working. It grinds progress to a halt.
And what about the bigger picture stuff, like the overall design?
Yeah, fundamental architectural problems. Maybe the initial design was fine for a small prototype, but now the system's grown and it's just rigid. It resists change.
Like building a skyscraper on foundations meant for a shed. It just doesn't scale.
Perfectly put. Then you have things like manual processes, stuff that screams automation needed, but people are still doing by hand.
Or just general code clutter, inconsistencies. It all adds up, making it harder for anyone new or even the existing team to understand and work effectively.
It all creates drag. Every step becomes a bit harder, a bit slower, a bit more expensive.
Okay, so it sounds like this debt can pop up almost anywhere. But you can't fix everything at once, right? You still have deadlines, new features to build.
No, you definitely can't. And you probably shouldn't try. It's about prioritization.
So how do you figure out what to tackle? Is there a sort of framework?
There is. A really common and useful way to think about it is using a kind of matrix. You look at the potential impact of fixing something versus the effort it would take.
Impact versus effort.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. So high impact, low effort, those must be the first things you jump on.
Exactly. Those are your quick wins. Fixing a critical security hole, maybe updating a library that's causing known problems, resolving an easy-to-find performance bottleneck.
Nice. Big bang for your buck, essentially.
Totally. You get significant value relatively quickly, great for momentum and showing progress.
Okay, what about the opposite corner? The really big, thorny issues. High impact, but high effort, too.
Those are often called strategic refactoring. These are your major architectural changes, maybe breaking down huge, complex parts of the system. They require a serious investment, dedicated time, but the payoff is foundational improvement.
So you'd plan those carefully, maybe tie them into larger project work.
Often, yes. Or dedicate specific time solely for that refactoring effort. It needs deliberate planning.
And the lower impact stuff.
Low impact, low effort, those are small cleanups. Tidying comments, removing unused code, minor consistency fixes. Good to do when you have small gaps, perhaps. Easy wins, but not game changers.
And the last box, low impact, high effort.
The thankless tasks. These are tough. They take a lot of work, but might not provide much visible benefit to users or even developers. Maybe they improve internal consistency in some obscure way.
So you really have to question if those are worth the time investment at all.
Exactly. You might decide to just leave them, honestly. The cost outweighs the benefit.
So it's not about getting to zero debt then. It's more about managing it smartly and trying not to accumulate new debt too quickly.
Precisely. The goal is managed debt, not no debt. And a key takeaway is that this management needs to be continuous. It's not a one-off cleanup project.
It needs to be part of the regular development rhythm.
Yes. Educating the team is step one. Then, building in practices that prevent unnecessary debt, like code reviews, good testing habits, and crucially, actually scheduling time in your sprints or planning cycles to actively pay down some of the existing prioritized debt.
So it really moves beyond just a technical checklist item. It sounds like it requires leadership buy-in too. to make space for it.
Absolutely. It's about ensuring the long-term health and agility of the project and, frankly, the team building it. Ignoring debt just makes the future more painful and expensive.
Thinking about it as an investment in future speed and stability, that does shift the perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. It's an investment, not just a cost center fixing past mistakes.
Which really leads to a final thought, I suppose, something for you to consider. How might really internalizing that idea, seeing technical debt as an investment rather than just a necessary evil or a cost, how might that actually change the way you plan and execute your next project?